Hello everyone, what's up and welcome back to another video. Today I am going to be doing the Christmas song tag, which was originally created by Haley from Haley in Bookland. I believe that's her name. But I'll have everything linked down below, as well as the questions. If you would like to participate, feel free to comment down below any of the answers to the questions. Before we get started, please remember to like the video and subscribe, and grab yourselves a cup of tea or coffee or cold drink if it's hotter where you are, and let's just jump right into the video. So the first question, or the first song, is You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. And this is about a villainous character you couldn't help but love. And after some really deep thoughts, because I was like, I don't really have anyone. I was thinking of the Darkling, but I didn't really like him that much. So I landed on Snow. President Snow, but from the Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes. Don't ask me to name his name because I would call him Cornelius and I know it's not Cornelius. So President Snow in the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Even though I know how he ends up, I couldn't help but love him. He was just, I don't know, there was just something about him that was fun to read about. So yeah, I think that's my answer. The next song is All I Want for Christmas Is You, and it is what book would you like to see under the Christmas tree? And I don't know, because I tend to buy all my books on Kindle now to save space. So maybe, what is the last book? It's Chain of Gold, I believe. Chain of Iron, the last book in the Chain of Iron series. Yeah, that makes sense. Or even if it's a bit later, House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J. Maas. That book is so expensive to pre-order, so maybe that will be my very late Christmas present. And I can't think of anything else that I want to see now under the Christmas tree. So if I don't get a book this Christmas, you know, it's nothing new. I usually buy my own Christmas presents. Well, my own bookish Christmas presents. Anyway, the next song is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and it is basically name a character that overcomes major obstacles and starts to believe in themselves. I know there's quite a few books that has these, but the one that pops up in my mind is Lauren from the Plates of Prisoner series. She has gone through a lot, and by Glow, she has finally learned to accept herself. She still faces a lot of obstacles, but yeah, I think she came to mind, so I'm gonna stick with it. The next song is Santa Claus is Coming to Town, and it is basically a two-part question. The first one is, which character do you think will be on the top of the naughty list? This is actually a tough question. I'm trying to think of all the books that I read. Not that it's ever going to help, but maybe I would say the Darkling. Just in the Shadow and Bone trilogy itself, obviously. But yeah, I think the Darkling. And then the second question is, name a character that would be on the top of the nice list. Wow, who's a goody two-shoe? I don't know. That's a very tough question. Maybe Avery from the Inheritance games. I don't know. I don't really read books where the characters are all vanilla or they're all bad. It's always a mix of it, so we're gonna go with that. We're gonna go with Avery. Okay. The next song is Frosty the Snowman, and the question is, which character just melts your heart? Nikolai. Nikolai from King of Scars, and maybe Kaz as well, I think. Yes. Those two. They just melt my heart. Every time they pop up, even if it's just, you know, like for a brief second where they just go, hey, I enjoyed that part of the book. The next one is Feliz Navidad, and it is choose a book that takes place in a country other than your own. Because I live in South Africa and a lot of books are not in South Africa, I can choose a variety of books. Let's go with the book that I'm currently busy with. It's A Winter in Wonderland by Isla Gordon, and firstly it takes place in England and the rest of the book takes place in Lapland, so yeah, let's go with that one. The seventh song is The Most Wonderful Time of the Year, and the one that is continuously stuck in my head every time this time of the year. It's not Mariah Carey's song, it is The Most Wonderful Time of the Year. Anyway, the question is, which holiday themed book do you use to spread the Christmas joy? I don't have a lot of holiday themed books, so this is a very entertaining video. I would say the one that gets me into a Christmas spirit is usually A Court of Frost and Jawlight, which is this novella right here. It is part of the Court of Thorns and Roses series, but yeah, I don't really have other books. It might change next year, but mostly I read fantasy, and this was just by chance a Christmassy kind of one. I would also say any book with snowflakes on it. I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, the 8th song is Sleigh Ride. I have never heard of the song before, so that's awkward. Anyway, the question is, which fictional character would you choose to spend the holidays with? And it doesn't have to be a romantic one. Wow, having some deep thoughts here, deep questions. I think the characters from Kelly Armstrong's Women of the Other World, but the werewolf side, they always sound like they have the greatest like celebrations during the Christmas holidays. I would really like to be part of that. The next song is Baby It's Cold Outside, and the question is, which book that you didn't like would you sacrifice to a fire to warm yourself up in the cold? Didn't like this year, I'm assuming. I don't think there really was a book that I disliked so much that I would chuck it on a fire. I don't know, I'd have to think. Honestly, if it was a life or death situation, I would burn all my books. And don't come for me, but really, I would burn all my books just if I can stay warm. The next song is Do You Hear What I Hear? And the question is, which book do you think everyone should read? If you're into dystopian, I would say 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray. This is so enjoyable. I finished it in a day, around-ish, and I really enjoyed it. It has time traveling in it, it has enemies to lovers in it, and it was just super enjoyable, and I want to go back to reading this for the first time. The other book I would also say, if you're into fantasy, it is Ink Heart or Ink Death by Cornelia Funke. Unfortunately, you have to read the whole series. I'm sorry, this is a very awkward angle of holding this thing. I have another book in my hand, that's why. But anyway, you have to read the whole series to get to this book. But this book was so great. I enjoyed Ink Heart so much. And then Ink Spell came, and it had that really second book syndrome where, yeah, it was really boring. But then this book came and swept me off my feet. I'll have the video I read this in linked up below or down below as well. But I just enjoyed the hell out of this book. This would be one of those books that I would sell my soul to read for the first time again. The next song is Where Are You Christmas? A book you want immediately but isn't out yet. House of Flame and Shadows. Nisha J. Tully's second book, which I know how the cover looks, I just keep forgetting what the name is. A Dance of Something. And then the second installment of What the River Knows. It only comes out in November. I want it today, because what was that cliffhanger? Okay, so those I think are the 3 books that I really want now. Then number 12 is Last Christmas, a book that you started loving but didn't end up liking. All I Want for Christmas by Maggie Knox. This book started out great. Really, I was invested. I thought it was a bit unnecessary to have 3 Christmases in the book, but I understood why. And then halfway through the present Christmas, I don't know, something just changed, something got annoyed. I think annoying. I think it was a miscommunication trope on steroids that just didn't do it for me. I really didn't like the last 40% of this book. So yeah, this one goes for that prompt. The second last song is Blue Christmas, and it is a book that made you cry. The only book that made me cry this year was Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And it was mainly because of the line, tell your dad and Daisy they still owe me a song. And I just bawled my eyes out. And it was a beautiful book, beautifully written. It just tugged the heartstrings from start to finish. So I really enjoyed that one. I don't think there's another one that I cried about. Yeah, no, it was just that book. The last song is A Marshmallow Christmas, and it is basically a fluffy book. I would say A Virgin River Christmas by Robin Cole. Oh, hey, I forgot I read that one. But that is just basically a book that it's fluffy, it's nice, it's romantic, and yeah, it's enjoyable. So I really like that one as well. Anyway, those are the questions for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe, comment down below by answering the questions, or, you know, just anything Christmassy, I guess. And I'll see you guys in a video next week. Bye.